Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to your childhood. You grew up in Egypt, Cairo,
Oh,
Egypt.
my childhood.
Well, let's figure out how you came to be who you are. This is,
How did you become an Islamo-Nazi?
yeah, exactly. It's a long journey. I do like the swastika tattoo on your ass, which I didn't.
How did you see my?
You know what you did.
I know I did it.
It was very inappropriate. You're also obviously a sexual harasser of me.
This is like a Me Too?
Yes,
This is like 2020. Someone will come up. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
please
we have
clip it. This is your Me Too moment.
Mm.
All right. So, Cairo, what's a defining memory, positive or negative, from your childhood?
My memory in general was cool. It was cool. I went to a Catholic school until the for primary school, the elementary, and by the time I'm done, there was kind of like a start of a decline into the public education. And my parents, they're like middle class working officials. My dad was a judge, my mom was a business professor, and they were like one of the people who's like, they didn't have that much luxury. My dad like drove like a regular like car, a Fiat, which is like the equivalent for the Lada in
Thank you.
in Russia. Yeah.
Thank you for speaking to the audience.
Yeah, the Lada. And
Well, so would that be a good car or
no,
bad
no,
car?
it's kind of like the minimum. And my dad was not like a man of showing off. Whatever money they would do, they would put it for us, education, give everything to their kids. This is kind of like a very, very typical mentality, and I'm sure it's in many cultures, but like we grew up with this. Like everything that we have is like for kids, so they would put us into education. So middle school. That was the big 1986 was the beginning of the explosion of like international schools, private schools, and these schools were relatively expensive. Of course, now with today's currency, it's ridiculous, but at that time, it was very expensive. So I went to that school, and from there was this moment was like you feel less right away. I mean, the people, of course, there's the regular bullying and stuff, but it's not that. It's kind of like you always feel less. You don't have that much of like purchasing power that can allow you to go to the same outings or travel with them, and even like how you dress, it will be modest compared to them. So I was always an outsider. I was, and I compensated with that by two things: being good at school and being good at sports. So I was not like the typical nerd who was just like that. I was playing football, basketball, track and field, and I was like one of the people who would like to have me on their team. So I wasn't like kind of like, he's a nerd, get him away. But I never had a girlfriend. I never had any kind of like, I was not boyfriend material.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like, it leaves remnants in you that you're not good enough.
But psychologically, you were always like when you were by yourself, you felt like an outsider.
Yes, all the time. And that's why it kind of like I'm more of a loner. I don't have a lot of what you call friends. I have acquaintances, people that I do stuff with, but I don't have like the people that I tell them everything. When I went to medical school, now medical school is a different animal. Medical school is where all of the people from the public schools go. Public schools are very like, they are not, they don't have like, they don't have English language as like a strong partner, but they are brilliant people. So because they would mostly study in Arabic, but they are brilliant and they are very, very, very smart, very sharp. But when I go there, now I am the sissy boy from the private school that comes into medical school. Now I'm an outsider again. And I go into I go into residency and I pick up salsa. So now I'm a salsa teacher while being a cardiothoracic surgery resident, and I'm an outsider for the third time because in salsa, I'm kind of like the respectful doctor, and in resident, I'm the guy who is just dancing. So, and everything, of course, as a medical resident, you will mess up a lot.
Yeah.
So they would always like, oh, because you're a dancer, oh, because you don't care about medicine, you just like want to go there and dance with women, which is true.
Yeah.
But,
true.
but, and so all of my life, I felt that I'm an outsider. I'm not part of the team. I'm not part of the core group. So, and I have a story that you would love. I right before my residency, I was so much into salsa, so I had all of the money, and then you saved that, and I was working in summers, and I was doing extra jobs, and I took that money and I went to Miami, in order to
Nice.
to learn
Yeah.
Rueda de Casino, which is the Cuban kind of like circle salsa kind of thing. and I went there in the summer of 2001.
Yeah.
And my return ticket was 9/12, 2001.
The universe
My
has a
return-
sense of humor. I got to tell you
No,
that.
no, no. My 9/12.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be on a plane coming back to Egypt. What happens? Thank God I ran out of money 10 days before that. It's like, all right, I changed my ticket and I came back. 9/11. I'm kind of like, sleeping. My mom, wake up! Wake up! What? It's like, and I see like the 2-tower phone. It was like, my mom's like, oh, you're here. Thank God, you're here.
Yeah.
That, and I was like, I could have been in Guantanamo right now.
Yeah. Flying at 9/12.
And but by the way, I was in Miami. When they went to the flying school in
Yeah.
Miami. So I mean,
Yeah.
I had like 9/11 written all over my face.
You'd be all over the news.
And my
Gotcha.
mom's like, "What? He went there to dance salsa? I didn't know that salsa is like a name for terrorists."
Why salsa? Why did that attract you? And what, like, can you explain what salsa is? So I mentioned to you offline that I've been doing a little bit of tango, trying to learn it.
Yeah, like samba, salsa, bachata, merengue. It's kind of like Latin dances, and it's like I don't know how you describe salsa. Couple dance on Latin beat, and I did it because I talk about that about in my Arabic stand-up comedy, not the English. I talk about like how I was, I didn't have like really like a great like social life, and my friends went there one day, and I go into a place which it was called El Ghetto Negro. No, it was called Big Fat Black Pussycat, and then I think they thought it will be like racist or something, so to change it to El Ghetto Negro. Anyway, so.
Great.
I know.
Great decision.
I know. So I went there. It's like, damn, music and women, and a doctor dancing salsa. That is a chick magnet.
Yeah, 100%.
We do everything for that.
All of human civilization.
Even power, even money.
All
We
the
do it-
wars we've been talking about.
women.
At the end of the day.
the approval from the other sex. We are babies. We are terrible people.
Yeah.
So of course, like I mean, that was like great. But then as a nerd, I went in so hard, and now I became a salsa teacher.
Yeah.
And I earned more money from salsa more than I did as a doctor's resident.
I didn't know this part of you. That's hilarious.
I know I was making a killing amount of money, like huge amount of money. And I was just like, I would go finish my shift, and I go to the salsa class. And sometimes I would have like 70 people in my salsa class.
Oh, wow.
I had like the biggest salsa class in Egypt in the beginning of 2000. And it was fantastic. And it was an outlet, because you go there and there's the shifts and people dying. Damn. And they go, salsa.
An escape. You must have been good.
I was okay. I was cool. I was fun. There were people better than me, but I have a thing about teaching. I like teaching people.